Food Center cooking show, coming to you from the EVPL studios where our kitchen is always fully booked. I'm your host, Carissa Ricketts. Today's episode is all about gross cooking. Not necessarily things you wouldn't want to eat, but things that don't look very appetizing. So if you want to cater your next horror film festival, these might be some recipes you want to look into. I'm here with Miss Stacy Hurt, lover of two-headed teddy bears and creepy old Victorian homes. She will be judging our contestants on presentation and taste. Now let's meet our contestants.
All right, everybody, before we get started with our cooking today, it's really important that we talk about safety in the kitchen. So, of course, we're gonna start out with washing our hands really well because we're making food for other people. Then, if you've got long hair like me, you're gonna wanna put it back and out of your way. Whenever you're using the oven, you're always gonna wanna make sure that you're safe and that you have adult help if you need it. The same goes for anything sharp, any kind of chemicals, anything that could potentially be dangerous.
And now we have Audra. What are you making for us today, Audra?
Today we're going to be making spider cookies, but we're going to do it the quick way with an already made cookie recipe.
That sounds interesting.
All right, everybody, today we're going to be making our spider cookies. So I'm going to take the easy route and I'm going to start with a bag of already made up cookie mix. I've got peanut butter because we're going to put Reese's on them later, so it just gives it that extra peanut butter taste. But you could really do this with any kind of cookie or even your own homemade recipe. So since we're doing peanut butter today, we're going to open this up, pour it in, and include all of the things that it tells me on the back. All right, we'll stir it up real good. All right, everybody, the good thing about peanut butter dough is that it's not really runny. It gets nice and sticky, so we can actually just pinch it and roll up with your hands. Now we're gonna want these about 1 inch. So you can take a teaspoon and actually measure them out, or you can just kind of eyeball it, do it yourself. We're gonna roll them all up and put them onto our ungreased cookie sheet here, and we'll get them in the oven. All right, so we're all ready to go. Now remember, small cookies bake fast, so make sure that you keep an eye on them. You're gonna wanna go with whatever your package or your recipe says, and maybe check just a couple minutes earlier just to be sure. So we'll go get these in the oven and we'll be back. All right, everybody, our cookies are fresh from the oven and they smell great. So you're gonna wanna let them sit on your sheet for just a few minutes before we transfer them all to a cooling rack. Okay, so let them sit a few more minutes on that. Now we don't want them completely cool yet before we put our Reese's cups on. If they're too hot, they'll actually melt our poor spiders. So you want to find just the right temperature. Try one, and if it doesn't work, you can wait a little bit longer. So these are still just a little bit warm. We're gonna go ahead and press these down into the top. Let them sit and completely cool off before we finish decorating. Okay, everybody, our cookies are completely cool now. We have our little spider bodies and we're ready to get to the really fine decorating. So today we're gonna be using a black icing gel to give our spiders their legs and to stick on their eyeballs. You know, you could actually buy candy eyeballs at the store. So you'll just take a few of those. We'll put a little dot on the back and we'll be ready to go. Once we've got our eyes glued on with our icing, we are ready for legs. Spiders have 8 legs, so we're gonna need 4 on each side, kind of spread them out. This part can be a little bit time consuming, but it is also a lot of fun. All right, everybody, all of our spiders have legs and they are ready to go. We'll see what the judges think at the very end, but I think that they are delicious.
All right, we're here with Christina. What are you making for us today, Christina?
I am making maggot-infested brownies.
Okay, let's see.
So the first step in making maggot-infested brownies is to make brownies. And rather than making them from scratch, I just use my favorite brownie mix. So you can do likewise and just follow the instructions on the back. And once you have your pan of brownies, then we can get started. So here are my finished brownies, and they are cool and ready to go. All right, so now we're going to make the maggots to go in our maggot-infested brownie. So we take some white fondant. We're going to be using our hands, so make sure you wash your hands before you open this. So this is a block of fondant. It kind of is like Play-Doh, but it's a lot firmer than that. So I'm going to take a butter knife and cut a little bit off so I can start playing with it. All right, so you pinch off tiny pieces and you roll them into little bitty balls, which you then can smush out to look like tiny worms. All right, so they look something like that. So we have a whole bunch of little maggots now, and I switched them to this tray so you can see them a little better. So then we're going to take some black food dye. I'm going to squirt it out on this plate. And we're going to dip one end of each little maggot into the food dye to create the heads. Just like that. Now we have our heads on all of the maggots, and they're looking pretty gross. So we're going to set this tray to the side and make the dirt frosting for our brownies. All right, so in a bowl, I'm going to put 6 tablespoons of softened butter. Once the butter is all fluffy, then we add the powdered sugar and cocoa powder. So we're going to do a heaping 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. This is my life now. Then you need 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Okay, once you have the cocoa powder and powdered sugar sifted into your bowl, add 2 tablespoons of milk. And then combine it with a wood spoon. Once you've got it most of the way combined, you can switch back to your whisk. Once that's combined, you can frost your brownies. All right. Once your brownies are frosted, it's time to make them truly gross by adding the maggots. So you just pick them up and stick them wherever you want in the dirt. If you want to make it even more gross, you can take a coffee stirrer and poke little holes to nestle them down into. All right, and once you have decorated with enough maggots, you have the perfect brownies to gross out your friends, perfect for Halloween, or just any day that you feel like it.
Hi, we're here with Claire. Claire, what spooky treat are you making for us today?
Today we're going to be making severed finger cookies.
Ooh, spooky.
So today for gross cooking, I am making severed finger cookies. To get started, you're basically just going to start with a packaged sugar cookie. So I have Betty Crocker's sugar cookie mix. So you'll use whatever is required for this recipe to make your dough. I already have some dough made up here. So as you can see, it's nice and soft and malleable. And basically, once you have your dough made up, you are going to get a parchment-lined baking sheet, and we are going to roll this out into little logs or fingers. I already have some made up here as well, so you can see the longer and skinnier you make them, the more they keep their shape when they bake off. So I would go with longer and skinnier for your fingers, but basically you can just roll it in between your hands to make a log shape. And then once you have your fingers laid out in the dough, you are going to use a butter knife to score the tip of the dough where your nail is going to go. So, like I said, we're going to score the tip of the cookie where the fingernail will go. And by fingernail, I mean slivered almond, not real fingernails. Gross. So I scored the top. I'm going to find the best almond, the best nail-shaped almond. So let's see here. All right. So once you have your nails in, you are going to score the top and the center for the knuckles. So basically you can just take a butter knife, and you don't want to go all the way through, just really lightly score it. So right there, just a couple lines. So once you have your dough and your fingers all rolled out and ready to go, you're going to want to pop these in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. This lets the dough kind of set up and keep its shape whenever it's baking in the oven. Once you take them out of the refrigerator, you're going to pop them in the oven at 350 degrees. These are really small cookies, or for the most part, so you probably want to go a little under 15 minutes, even though the bag calls for 15 minutes. I would check on them a little earlier. All right, so we have our finger cookies here. They are chunky little goblin fingers is what they look like. So because we want them to look severed, we are going to take a butter knife and cut off the ends of the cookies. So you want them to look kind of mangled like this, like they've been severed. Gross, I know, but it goes with the whole aesthetic. So once you cut all of the ends off, you're going to take, you can use red raspberry preserves, strawberry jam. I used the seeded because I feel like it gives it that extra creep factor. Like it's like little shards of bone. Gross, again, but very cool. So we're going to take our cookies and we're just going to dip the bottoms into the jam. Some people like to add red food coloring to give it a little more vibrant red color for the blood. I feel like it doesn't really need it. It looks plenty gross just like this. So we are going to add the jam. So here are our finished bloody severed finger cookies. They look delicious. I'm going to go on ahead and give one a try. Tasty.
All right. First we have severed fingers.
Ew. Oh, those are cute and gross. Oh my gosh. Not only are they bloody fingers, but the fingernails need to be cleaned too. Let's see how these taste. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. High marks on presentation and high marks on flavor. Good job.
Next, we have a lovely maggot-infested brownie.
Gross. Oh my gosh, look at the cute little maggots. All right. I wouldn't want to eat these if they were real. Okay. What are these? Oh, I like that. I like that. Can't go wrong with chocolate. All right. Beautiful, lovely looking maggots, and wonderful brownie flavor. Good job on this one.
And last, we have spider cookies.
Over cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, did you guys see this? Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's see. Oh, they're too adorable to bite into. Oh, that's a peanut butter cookie too. Oh, yummy. Oh, now I have a one-eyed spider. Oh, these are just adorable. I like the cookies. And who can go wrong with, can't go wrong with Reese's. Another awesome job.
All right. Now for the judging.
All right, if I had to decide between the three, okay, the maggots are really good on creep factor because it really looked like maggots. The spiders are cute, but don't look like real spiders, but they are good and creepy. But I absolutely love the severed fingers. You're a winner. All right.
I'm here with this week's winner, Claire. Claire, what made you decide to go with severed fingers?
Probably my love of zombie movies. Who doesn't love a good severed finger? So I just thought they'd be really fun and delicious. So yeah.
Did you have any problems in the process of making these cookies?
Yeah, I did. So whenever you're making cookies like that have a certain shape, you have to make sure that you put them in the refrigerator beforehand so they keep their shape when they bake. So that was kind of the learning process for me to learn how long to keep them in and when to take them out. So.
All right, good information. We'll see you guys next week.